Stefani's journey, living in harmony with nature. In a world that often feels disconnected from the rhythms of the earth, meet Stefani, a remarkable individual who has devoted her life to living in harmony with nature. Her story is not just about sustainability, it's a journey of mindfulness, self-reliance, and rediscovering the deep bond we all share with the natural world. Through her daily practices and philosophy, Stefani reminds us that nature is not merely a resource, but a partner in life. This video takes you on an inspiring journey into Stefani's life, her self-sustained lifestyle, her tranquil connection with the environment, and the practical lessons we can all embrace to live more harmoniously with the earth. The day begins quietly as the first rays of sun cascade over Stefani's lush, self-sustained garden. She steps outside, barefoot on the damp soil, welcoming the morning. Each day, Stefani starts her routine by harvesting the freshest herbs and vegetables. Whether it's basil for her tea or tomatoes for breakfast, her hands carefully select what she needs, ensuring that nothing goes to waste. Inside her cozy, eco-friendly kitchen, Stefani blends the vibrant ingredients into a simple, homemade meal. Each bite represents a connection, not just to her garden, but also to her intention of living a mindful, balanced life. Starting the day with what nature provides grounds me, she reflects. It's not just food, it's an act of gratitude for the earth's gifts. Stefani's mornings set a tone of intention for her life. It's a practice of appreciating the little things, a reminder that the natural world has already given us so much, but it requires care in return. Stefani's home is a sanctuary in every sense of the word. Built with sustainable, eco-conscious materials, it reflects her philosophy of living in harmony with the planet, not in opposition to it. From reclaimed wood for the walls to naturally insulating windows and clay roofing, every choice was made to reduce her environmental footprint. Touring the house, she pauses to highlight its key features. Solar panels perched on the roof convert sunlight into energy, rainwater is collected and filtered for household use, and her walls are layered with insulating materials to minimize energy consumption during summer and winter. This home is an extension of my values, Stefani says, running her hand over the smooth wooden countertop. It's designed to blend with nature, not overpower it. Her living space is not only functional, but also a calming retreat where natural light streams in across potted plants and earthy tones. The house mirrors her goal to live simply, consume thoughtfully, and create a space where harmony with nature thrives. Stefani's garden is the heart of her life, an abundant patch of land brimming with colorful vegetables, fragrant herbs, and native flowers. Walking through the winding paths, she introduces each plant as though it were an old friend. Her carrots, kale, zucchinis, and berries thrive thanks to the natural compost she prepares herself from food scraps and leaves. There's no waste in Stefani's world. The scraps from her meals are transformed into nutrient-rich compost, which in turn nurtures her soil, creating a healthy cycle of sustainability. Beyond serving her personal needs, her garden also sustains the pollinators, bees, butterflies, and birds that make the ecosystem come alive. Gardening teaches patience, she explains, kneeling to pull a few weeds by hand. You learn to stop controlling and start collaborating with nature. There's a magic in her garden, an example of how humans can thrive without overpowering the natural systems they depend on. Stefani's hands-on approach shows how anyone, even those with limited space, can start growing their own food. Stefani doesn't just grow her own food. She makes use of nature in every aspect of her life. In her garden shed-turned-workshop, she spends time crafting a variety of natural remedies and household products. We follow along as she crafts a batch of herbal tea using dried lavender, chamomile, and mint from her own garden. Later, she melts beeswax and mixes it with organic cloth to create reusable food wraps that eliminate the need for single-use plastic. As she stirs a batch of natural soap infused with calendula petals, she reflects on the satisfaction of crafting something that is useful, beautiful, and kind to the planet. I'm not just saving money or reducing waste, Stefani shares. I'm learning the old ways, reconnecting with how humans lived before everything became disposable. Through her remedies and crafts, Stefani demonstrates that sustainable living is not about sacrifice. It's about rediscovering ancient wisdom and making small, meaningful changes. Every day, Stefani takes time to immerse herself fully in nature. A quiet walk in the forest is her way of connecting with the earth on a more spiritual level. As she winds through the towering trees, the tranquility of her surroundings is palpable. The soft crunch of leaves underfoot and the sound of birds overhead seem to echo her sentiments. Moments like these remind me how small and interconnected we all are, she says, pausing to soak in the scenery around her. Beyond walking, Stefani practices mindfulness by simply being present. She'll sit beside a pond for hours or meditate in an open meadow, listening to the sounds, feeling the wind, and inhaling the fresh air. For Stefani, such rituals are an essential way to find balance in an often chaotic world. She encourages viewers to incorporate these practices into their own lives, even in modest ways. A walk through a park, tending to a balcony plant, or simply sitting in sunlight. Stefani believes that harmony with nature is not a path to walk alone. To help others embrace sustainable and eco-conscious living, she regularly hosts workshops in her community. In one of her sessions, we see her teaching a group how to start their own compost systems. With enthusiasm, she explains the basics of layering green waste with brown waste to create rich, fertile soil for gardening. Another segment shows her leading a foraging walk, identifying edible plants and mushrooms in the wild, a skill she says is as vital now as ever. The participants of her workshops aren't just learning practical skills, they're walking away with a newfound appreciation for engaging with the environment thoughtfully. Through these community initiatives, Stefani amplifies her impact. It's not about perfection, she tells the group. It's about finding your starting point and doing your best. Every small effort helps reconnect us to nature. While Stefani's lifestyle might seem idyllic, she is honest about the challenges she faces. Living sustainably requires dedication and constant effort. There are days when things just don't go as planned. When crops fail, or when the effort to maintain this way of life feels overwhelming, she admits candidly. Sometimes you have to remind yourself why you're doing it, and when you see the long-term impact, it's all worth it. She also shares tips on overcoming obstacles, planning ahead financially, embracing imperfection, and building a support network to exchange knowledge and ideas. Stefani's challenges are a reminder that conscious living is not without difficulty, but the rewards far outweigh the struggles. Stefani's story is more than an inspiration, it's a call for change. Through her journey, she encourages everyone to take small, actionable steps toward building a deeper connection with the natural world. Start with one thing, plant a basil pot on your windowsill, or carry a reusable bag to the store, she suggests. These small changes ripple outward and influence the people around you, creating a collective movement. Beyond practical tips, Stefani's message is clear. Earth doesn't need heroes. It needs caretakers who are willing to listen, learn, and give back. For beginners interested in sustainable living, Stefani shares a few simple takeaways. Start a mini garden. Even a small indoor herb garden can inspire a connection with plants. Compost your scraps. Use kitchen waste to create natural fertilizer. Reduce single-use items. Switch to reusable options like cloth bags, glass jars, and beeswax wraps. Spend time outside, disconnect from screens, and immerse yourself in nature for a few minutes each day. These tips reflect Stefani's belief that harmonious living is about starting where you are, with the resources you have. As the day closes, we see Stefani in her garden under the golden hues of sunset, working with quiet joy. Living in harmony with nature isn't always easy, but it brings her a sense of peace and purpose that cannot be matched. This life may not be for everyone, Stefani concludes with a warm smile, but the earth is for all of us. The least we can do is give back in whatever ways we can. Her journey reminds us of what's truly important, nurturing the symbiotic relationship between humans and nature. As her story ends, viewers are left not just inspired, but emboldened to reconnect with the world around them. Small steps, meaningful change. That's all it takes to bring harmony into your own life.